This is the minimum viable 100 to 500K a month funnel. Nothing too fancy, but what is important is what goes within this infrastructure. And a funnel is just a cohesive sequence wherein one side comes prospects, people from your niche, and out the other side comes customers, and ideally lifelong customers. So on the front end, we have a traffic source, in this case, meta ads. Then we have the product page. Sometimes you have a dedicated landing page if that's the right situation or experience. We have an email opt-in to capture new leads, and then we have email flows. So if somebody abandons their cart, if they abandon checkout, if they bounce from the product page, you're using email flows to send them back through. And we have industry standard metrics to tell us if there is a problem upstream or downstream in terms of what percentage of people are making it from the ad to the product page, opting in to actually becoming a customer. So for example, we want 1 to 3% of people clicking on our ad. We want 6 to 10% plus of people opting into our email. We want 10% of the traffic that's on the product page to be adding to cart, 6 to 8% making it to checkout, and ultimately overall 2 to 3% of all of the traffic becoming a customer. So when done correctly, the customer journey through this digital infrastructure is going to check all the right boxes in the niche's mind so that they come to know, like, and trust you enough to make a purchase decision and ultimately become a lifelong customer. Now, most people are familiar with the different components of a sales funnel. You know, we've all experienced it firsthand if you've purchased something from the internet in the last decade, but it isn't just about having ads or having a website or having this or that type of content. It's really about the core value proposition and the messaging that's underlying all of those funnel assets. So the prospect needs to understand clearly what your offer is top to bottom. They need to see a niche specific headline and a hook to get them interested. They need to understand that this is for them specifically. They need to understand your background story, your credibility, how it works, the science or the technology, the ingredients behind the offer, how that works, how to use the product, how it compares to other options on the market, the benefits, the features. They need to have their common questions and objections addressed. They need to see proof and evidence that this will actually work for them. And then sometimes they just need to be told what to do next. So that being said, how do we make sure to keep these things congruent for the niche across each piece of the funnel? How do we make sure that we're not missing any of the key information that they need in order to make a purchase decision? Well, the key is to simply draft all of the copy into one core document. So some people call this a sales letter. This is essentially your entire offer hypothesis, the single cohesive article which contains all of the copy and information needed to persuade the niche to make that purchase decision. And it's this core information which then gets transposed into each of the funnel assets. Make sense? So it's this information that gets transposed into the script of your video ad. You have the hook, introduce the product, the background story, credibility, all those same components. It's present throughout your video ad. It gets transposed into your product page, all the key information in that same or similar order on the product page. It's also the copy for your email flows. It's the source for your blogs and organic social content. It's the summary of the pitch for the niche, and it keeps everything in the funnel cohesive. So these are the key things that a prospect who's never heard of you before needs to see and understand in order to make a purchase decision. So all we're going to do with our funnel assets is repeat this key information, again, in a way that's cohesive from the ad to the landing page to the email flows to any other content pieces. We're keeping it all cohesive. It all stems from this core information. So we're going to write out headlines, hooks, your ad copy, your video scripts, your product page, your product description, your email flows. And with the help of AI, it's only going to take a few minutes to do.